A very warm welcome to the session, and I would like to extend my sincere gratitude to Mrs. Sujata Mohan, who has given me the opportunity to talk to you on the topic How did I utilize my pandemic? It is true that this crisis has taken its toll on humanity. However, it has also provided opportunity for generations to unite and perhaps to begin to shape our younger generations to think differently about their own individual roles and how we as individuals can contribute in our own way to find solution to the collective problems. A lot has changed in last several weeks, and it likely won't be going back to being completely normal soon. This time at home has taught us a lot though. I think for many, we are learning life lessons and resetting our priorities. We need to hang on to those essential life lessons even when we start moving forward and go back to whatever new normal awaits for us. That has all come to grinding hold, and Mother Nature has made us victim of her latest punishment. We as humans need not to only stay safe and sane, but we have to take it as a wake-up call and learn from it. We cannot keep going as we were. The first thing I have learned is to prioritize my relationship with my family and friends. This is must, and I don't think we are doing enough. And now we are forced to, and I'm sure some of the families are at each other's nerve, but I think we should take a minute and appreciate what we have been given. A chance to reconnect and understand each other. An opportunity to work on our interpersonal relationship and let go of past issues, forgive each other, make new memories, and get creative with how we are spending our time together. I think it is essential life lesson to take away. The people closest to you deserve your time and attention, and vice versa. I use this time to reforge these relationships so that I can carry them with me for the rest of ever. For those who feel they cannot reach out to the family or friends, remember the family is not made up of blood only. So find your people, go talk to them, and be there for them in their need. The next thing I would like to discuss with you about the spendings, the expenditures which we usually do. How many of us have saved or have not done a lot of spending on online purchasing and not going on restaurants? How much of our spending is actually necessary? In last few months, we have definitely done very less expenditure on the unnecessary things which we used to do when the things were normal. And by not eating out and by not doing things, I don't feel incomplete or I'm missing out something. Hopefully, this has shown us that we don't need much to be happy. What we have is good enough and we need to be thankful for it. The rest is just excess, and look how easy it is to cut it out of our lives. Those items you thought you could not live without, guess what? You are living without them now and you are surviving too. So it is not important to spend money in order to be happy. You can be happy with very less things in your life. People who used to live in 70s, I don't think that they used to spend so much, but they were definitely the people who were very contented and they led a very beautiful life too. So we had got a tendency to connect expenditure into happiness, but this pandemic has taught me that I don't need lot many things to be very happy. Rather, this has taught me to donate and share. I decluttered my wardrobe and I gave lot many things, lot many unnecessary things which I used to keep with me that I may need it sometime in life, but this time I have used my pandemic days to donate those things to my mates and many needy people who can actually use them, and it really gave me a kind of satisfaction. So I hope that all of you must have observed the same thing, and if not, then please learn to declutter. It really gives you happiness. I have also learned that career backup plans are important. So many people are suffering with pay cuts or losing their jobs during this time. Unemployment topped 13%. A common theme to address this that I have noticed is advocating for multiple income streams, starting a side hustle. While I think that's a viable option, not everyone can do that. Their skill sets don't allow them to, or they are already bogged down so much by their primary job so that there is some other reason. Yes, multiple sources of income are one way to cushion yourself in future. But I think we should all consider career backup plans going forward. This crisis has shown us that you never know what can happen. No job is permanent. So we should always have an idea of what we would do with our skills or what areas we would be willing to learn, so that if we are forced to, we should know what we will be able and how we are going to able to do and how we are going to survive. Times are definitely changing, and we need to prioritize accordingly. Take a break from your phones. You don't have to always to be connected. And it is also not important to post everything which you do on social media. You need to have some kind of personal life, and you don't have to show the world that you are happy. Your happiness should stay within you and around you, and should affect the people who are close to you. Every XYZ should not know what you are doing, what you are eating, how you are spending time. And we must not feel that you can be happy only if you get lot many likes or lot many comments. This is not actual happiness. Your happiness should not depend upon other people. If you don't get comments or likes, then it should not make you feel inferior. The thing which you do or the things which you like should be able to give you happiness, and that should be enough. Social media every time does not give you happiness, and every time does not give you the truth also, and at times it is very scary, and we must learn to use the social media very, very judiciously. And this is the need of the hour, that we should let our children and the students also know the cyber rules and the cyber securities as well, because entire world is using network, and especially children, they are learning online, so they are forced to use the social media and all these things. So it is our duty to teach our students that how to use this internet, what to use, and how should we protect them. So as an educator and as a parent also, I feel that it is the need of the hour that we should teach our kids that what all are the pros and cons of using social media, and we need to definitely keep an eye on them in order to keep them safe. My sincere gratitude to all the teachers of this entire world who have really shown up a lot of courage, and they stood up there and ensured that the education continues. Learning should never stop, and this is one thing which has definitely made me feel proud that I'm an educator. And a big shout out to all the teachers who have really learned all the ways to use internet, to make use of various platforms which they have been provided, and to ensure that the students learn. I'm sure it is definitely not easy for anybody to start such things all of a sudden. Nobody was ready for it. But then this is one fraternity which, along with health workers, ensured the mental well-being and creativity and curiosity of the children should continue and should not take a backseat. It is not very easy for teachers to teach at home when they do not have any help. Also during pandemic, maids were not coming, and all the teachers, they were not very uh, they were not very friendly with the techniques with the internet, or they were not very tech savvy also. But they did not take a backseat. They accepted the challenge, and then they started working so hard that now I'm sure they all are very, very comfortable and have learned various ways and skills to use this new mode of teaching. Although I'm sure that they must be missing that direct connect with the students and that classroom aura, and they are also learning to keep the students engaged during the teaching learning process, and making them meaningful contribution in this world. But definitely it is not an easy task to teach from home, and then when it's not only a child who is sitting there in front of you, but even the parents are watching, and then you of course feel a little disturbed that okay, somebody else is also observing you and all. But then in spite of all the difficulties faced, they have done a tremendous job, and that is the way they have survived, and definitely it is a commendable job. One more issue which I observed during this pandemic is that mental health is equally important. What we are going through right now, dealing with being confined, coping with boredom, going crazy in our homes, learning to cope up with our fears, and struggling to keep our sanity. Some people fight their battles every day, every week, every year. To simplify it further, life is made up of all kinds of nonsensical stuff we have to deal with. And now it's worse due to pandemic. Mental health is an integral part of our health and needs to be continuously addressed. Just like our physical health is. It's not taboo, it's real, and it's normal. I hope that this pandemic will bring light to the need to have a regular mental health checkup as well. What we have observed that students were facing many issues related to mental health, as they were just trapped inside the house, and they were not very habitual of this kind of scenario, and they needed somebody where they can put their faith and they can talk about their problems, and home was definitely not one of the place, because they need somebody at times